The morning sun spilled across the windows of the yacht as the ocean rocked gently beneath it. The quiet rhythm of the water clashed with the storm brewing inside the luxurious cabin. Diane Jenkins Abbott burst through the door with urgency still pounding in her chest. For hours, she had believed her husband was in danger, kidnapped, possibly worse. Every second had been torture. Then she saw it. Jack Abbott lying in bed. And next to him, Patty Williams. The sight froze Diane in place like the world had suddenly lost gravity. The sheets were tangled. Patty's hair spilled across the pillow. Jack looked groggy, confused, but unmistakably there with her. For a moment, Diane couldn't breathe. Jack blinked as the door slammed open. His eyes widened when he saw Diane standing there, fury burning through her shock. "Diane, wait, this isn't what you think," Jack stammered. Patty tilted her head with an eerie smile, as if enjoying the destruction unfolding in front of her. "Oh, Jackie," Patty said softly, "looks like your wife arrived early." Diane's hand flew before her brain caught up. The slap cracked through the room like thunder. Jack's head snapped to the side. "How dare you?" Diane shouted. Jack stumbled out of bed, desperately trying to explain. "I swear to you, Diane, I don't remember how this happened. Something is wrong, I was drugged or something." Patty laughed lightly. "Oh, please, don't ruin the moment with excuses." Diane looked between them with disbelief. "I moved mountains to rescue you. I thought you were in danger," she said, her voice breaking. "And I find you like this." Jack stepped closer. "Diane, I love you. I would never betray you." "Too late," she whispered. She turned and stormed out. Back in Genoa City, news traveled faster than anyone expected. Billy Abbott and Kyle Abbott stood in the Abbott mansion living room, tension filling the air. Both men had heard enough rumors already to know something terrible had happened. Jack entered moments later. Billy folded his arms immediately. "Well, want to explain why my phone has been exploding with gossip?" Kyle looked more hurt than angry. "Dad, please tell me this isn't true." Jack rubbed his temples. "I don't fully understand what happened." Billy scoffed. "That's comforting." Kyle stepped forward. "Dad, Patty Williams is dangerous. Why would you even be anywhere near her?" Jack sighed. "I wasn't thinking clearly. Something happened on that yacht. I know Victor Newman is involved somehow." At the Newman ranch, Nikki Newman had just heard the same shocking story. She confronted Victor in the living room. "You told me your plan would help Jack," Nikki said. Victor looked irritated but calm. "My plan was flawless." "Flawless," Nikki snapped. "Your scheme just destroyed Jack's marriage." Victor's eyes hardened. "That is not my concern." Nikki stared at him in disbelief. "You manipulated everyone again." Victor slammed his glass down. "You always question me. And you always go too far." The argument escalated quickly. Victor's temper exploded. "If you can't support me, then leave." Nikki froze. "You're throwing me out." Victor didn't answer. That silence was louder than anything. Across town, Victoria Newman was packing her bags. She stared at her phone, debating her next move. She needed to fly to Milan and confront Summer Newman. Summer had sided with the wrong people again. Victoria believed she could still convince her daughter to see the truth. Meanwhile, at Chancellor Winters, another conflict brewed. Nate Hastings and Kane Ashby stood facing each other in Lily Winters' office. "You don't get to tell Lily what's best for her," Nate said. Kane stepped forward. "I know Lily better than you think." "Not anymore." Their rivalry over Lily was far from finished. Elsewhere, Chelsea Lawson paced nervously around the apartment. Adam Newman had just flown to Las Vegas with Nick Newman. Something about the trip made her uneasy. Chelsea stared at her phone. Adam had promised it was just business. But with Adam, business rarely stayed simple. Hours later, Adam and Nick's plane landed in Las Vegas. Nick stretched his shoulders as they stepped onto the runway. "So," Nick said, "you really think this Reza Thompson contact will lead us to Matt Clark?" Adam nodded confidently. "I'm sure of it." Nick studied him carefully. "You're awfully calm." Adam smirked. "I've been planning this for weeks." The neon lights of Vegas glowed across the horizon. Nick didn't mention the thing he was hiding. The fentanyl addiction he had been struggling with. Spending this much time around Adam made it harder to keep the secret. Back in Genoa City, Phyllis Summers received a message from Lauren Fenmore Baldwin. Phyllis frowned as she read it. Lauren wanted to meet immediately. That was unusual. When they sat down together at Crimson Lights, Lauren leaned forward. "I've been thinking about your job offers." Phyllis smiled. "I knew you'd come around." Lauren hesitated. "That's not the only reason I called." Phyllis raised an eyebrow. "What else?" Lauren lowered her voice. "I've heard Patty Williams is back." Phyllis' smile vanished. Patty. Oh, yes." Phyllis leaned back slowly. "That woman never brings anything except chaos." Lauren nodded. "And she's heading for Genoa City." Phyllis sighed. "Well, that explains the sudden drama." At another table nearby, Sally Spectra was giving Billy some advice. "You should talk to Jill," Sally said. Billy sighed. "That relationship is complicated." "Oh, then fix it." Billy looked surprised. "You're serious?" "Yes," Sally replied. "You're always telling other people how to solve their problems. Maybe it's time to solve your own." Billy thought about it. For once, he decided Sally might actually be right. Meanwhile, far away in Vegas, Adam and Nick approached a quiet casino bar. Adam checked his phone. "Ariza should be here soon." Nick sat down, trying to hide his tension. Adam glanced at him. "Are you okay?" Yeah," Nick said quickly. Adam didn't press further. But he noticed. Nick was sweating and shaking slightly. Something wasn't right. Before Adam could question him again, a woman approached their table. Riza Thompson. She smiled. "A gentleman." Adam leaned forward. "Let's talk about Matt Clark." Riza's smile widened. "You're getting closer to him than you realize." Nick felt a chill run down his spine. Whatever they had started, it was about to get dangerous. The casino bar in Las Vegas buzzed with the soft hum of slot machines and quiet conversation, but the tension at Adam and Nick's table cut through the noise like a blade. Riza Thompson sat across from them, perfectly calm, swirling a drink in her hand. "You two look tense," she said with a faint smile. Adam leaned forward. "We're not here for drinks, we're here for Matt Clark." Riza's eyes sparkled with amusement. "Everyone is looking for Matt lately." Nick shifted in his chair. His hands trembled slightly beneath the table, and he clasped them together to hide it. Adam noticed. Nick caught his brother watching him and forced a steady breath. "I'm fine," he muttered. Adam didn't believe him, but the situation demanded focus. "Where is Matt?" Adam asked. Riza leaned back. "That's the problem," she replied. "Matt never stays in one place long." Nick frowned. "So why meet with us?" "Because," Riza said, lowering her voice, "Matt is planning something big, something that involves Genoa City." Adam exchanged a glance with Nick. "What kind of plan?" Adam asked. Riza's smile faded. "The kind that destroys lives." Nick felt a knot tighten in his chest. Back in Genoa City, the Abbott mansion felt colder than usual. Diane stood in the living room surrounded by suitcases. Kyle watched her quietly. "You're really leaving?" he asked. Diane folded a dress into a suitcase with careful precision. "I can't stay here right now." Kyle ran a hand through his hair. "Dad says he was drugged." Diane paused. Maybe," she said. "You don't believe him." Diane turned slowly. "I don't know what to believe anymore." Kyle's voice softened. "He loves you." Diane's eyes filled with tears. "I thought so too." At that moment, the front door opened. Jack walked inside. The room went silent. Diane stared at him, pain flashing across her face. Jack looked exhausted. "I needed time to think," he said quietly. Kyle stepped aside, leaving them alone. Jack walked closer. Diane, please listen to me. Diane crossed her arms. I already listened to you on the yacht. Jack shook his head. That wasn't me. Her expression hardened. You expect me to believe that? Yes, Jack said firmly, because I would never choose Patty Williams. Diane hesitated. Jack continued. Victor set this up, I know it. Diane sighed. Victor ruins everything. Meanwhile, at the Newman ranch, Nikki was packing a suitcase. The bedroom door opened and Victor entered. You're leaving, he asked. Nikki didn't look at him. You told me to. Victor frowned. That was said in anger. Nikki snapped the suitcase closed. You always say that after the damage is done. Victor stepped closer. Nikki. She turned toward him. You treat people like pieces on a chessboard, but those pieces have feelings. Victor's voice softened slightly. My intentions were never to hurt you. Your intentions hurt everyone, Nikki replied. The tension between them lingered in the room. Across town, Phyllis sat at Crimson Lights replaying Lauren's warning in her mind. Patty Williams back in Genoa City. Phyllis muttered to herself. That woman is a walking disaster. Lauren sat beside her. You think she'll cause trouble. Phyllis laughed. Patty doesn't know how to do anything else. Lauren looked uneasy. If she's forming alliances, that could be dangerous. Phyllis leaned forward. Then we find out who she's working with. Elsewhere, Sally Spectra sat beside Billy Abbott in the park. Billy stared at the ground. You really think I should call Jill? He asked. Sally shrugged. Families fight, that doesn't mean the relationship is over. Billy sighed. I've messed up a lot. Sally smiled gently. Then start fixing it. Billy looked at his phone. After a long pause, he dialed. Far away in Las Vegas, Adam and Nick walked out of the casino with Riza. You're telling us Matt has a base somewhere here? Nick asked. Riza nodded. Yes, but getting inside won't be easy. Adam smirked. Easy isn't our style. Nick suddenly slowed his pace. Adam turned. Are you okay? Nick leaned against a wall, breathing heavily. Adam's expression changed instantly. What's wrong with you? Nick looked away. Oh, nothing. Adam stepped closer. You're lying. Nick stayed silent. Adam's voice dropped. Nick, what are you hiding? Nick hesitated. Finally, he spoke. I've been dealing with something. Adam waited. Nick swallowed hard. A fentanyl addiction. Adam stared at him in shock. You're kidding. I wish I was, Nick replied quietly. Adam ran a hand through his hair. You should have told me. Nick sighed. I didn't want you to look at me differently. Adam shook his head. I'm your brother. Nick nodded. I know. Adam took a breath. We'll deal with Matt, then we deal with this. Nick managed a small smile. Fair enough. At that same moment in Genoa City, the courthouse filled with reporters. Mariah Copeland's trial was beginning. Christine Blair Romalotti stood confidently at the defense table. Her goal was clear. Mariah needed treatment, not prisons. Christine addressed the judge firmly. My client has struggled with severe mental health challenges. She needs medical care. The courtroom murmured. Outside the courthouse, a mysterious figure watched from across the street. Patty Williams. Her eyes gleamed with excitement. So many enemies, she whispered. A man approached her from behind. You shouldn't be here. Patty turned. Her smile widened. Oh, but I belong here. The man frowned. People will recognize you. Patty shrugged. Let them. He lowered his voice. Are you sure you want to start this war? Patty's eyes lit up. I've been waiting for years. Back at the Abbott mansion, Diane sat alone in the dark living room. Jack entered quietly. He placed a glass of water on the table. You should stay, he said softly. Diane looked up. I don't know if I can trust you again. Jack sat beside her. Then let me earn it back. Diane studied his face. For the first time since the scandal, she saw genuine desperation in his eyes. The fight wasn't over. Neither was their marriage. Across town, Victor Newman stood alone in his office staring out the window. He knew something was coming. The storm surrounding Genoa City was just beginning. And Victor intended to control it. But even he didn't realize how dangerous Patty Williams had become. Far away in Las Vegas, Adam and Nick stood in front of a quiet industrial warehouse. Riza pointed toward the building. Matt Clark is inside. Adam cracked his knuckles. Nick took a deep breath. This ends tonight. But inside the warehouse, Matt Clark watched them through security cameras. He smiled slowly. They finally arrived. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a detonator. The game had only just begun.